Well, hello, good afternoon, and welcome to this latest Bath Life Presents, this one about Bath festivals, and I hope this finds you well. My name is Greg Ingham from Bath Life's publisher Media Clash, and thank you all for joining or watching later on YouTube. Today we have a wonderful session with Bath festivals revealing the unparalleledly excellent and, well, frankly, packed schedule of the festival this May. We'll shortly be speaking with two Kates, because you can never have enough Kates after all, Kate Abbey and Kate Hall from Bath Festivals. Please do send your questions and thoughts using the Q&A button below. Do add your name and organisation's name if you'd like, or be anonymous if you prefer. I think we might have had one or two already as well. So please also note that today's Bath Life Presents is being recorded and will be on our Bath Life YouTube channel this afternoon. A few updates on Bath Life first. There is something called the Bath Life Awards happening in just 2 weeks, today on the 23rd of March. Just can't wait. We're excited, many are excited, and it'll be brilliant to have dozens upon dozens upon dozens, 500 people in all, but dozens of companies and organisations involved in the awards. Uber glamorous celebration of all that is best about Bath, including those demi-worlds of arts and creativity and education and events, which the festival so adeptly straddles, technical term straddles. Handful of tickets left if you fancy going, and they will be closing pretty soon. A little bit later is the Bath Bool. Bath Bool will be back at the end of June, beginning of July. It's a perfect social business occasion, and it raises a ton of money for local charities. Cumulatively, something like over £750,000 to date to those charities. Le Grand Reveal, that's about as French as I get, is taking place this Monday, 13th March at 2 p.m, ahead of the tickets opening on the 14th. Please do talk to us about being involved. We raise money via sponsorship and via the support we get from multiple companies. Yeah, and as you can see here, at the heart of what we do is Bath Life. And we're really proud to publish a magazine that celebrates all the good stuff in Bath. Thank you for your support. And please also look out for the new Bath Life newsletter, which is out tomorrow, called Handpicked by Bath, curated activities, events, things to do to explore and enjoy and benefit from Bath yet more. And of course, linking to today, we're absolutely delighted to be the official media partner for the Bath Festivals. Right, talking of the Bath Festivals, let's do this. I mean, from a personal point of view, what I absolutely adore about the festivals and about literature and about books is that you are spending time with clever, interesting people who see the world differently. We all learn to navigate the world or appreciate the world in multiple different ways. And spending time hearing directly from authors and then investing the time in the books that they've written is just a wonderful experience. It's such an opening up. Culture, creativity, at your hands in a thing called books. And that's only, it's the main part, but only one part, of course, of the festivals. The other is a multitude of musical events as well. You can lose yourself and experience and enjoy multiple musical activities with Bath Festivals coming up. And we'll go through some of the details shortly. Right, before we welcome the Bath Festivals Kates, that duo of Kates, let's watch their all-new trailer. Bath Life exclusive right there. Here we go. Well, there's appetite wetters go. That's I don't know what the next phrase is. There's absolutely whetted the appetite. It's giving sort of the highlights and insights about what is to come. Let's welcome our two Kates. Hello, Kate Abbey. Hello, Kate Hall.
Hello.
Welcome to this very special session. And please, I hope you're well. By the way, you all right?
Great, thank you.
Very good.
Happy days. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and your festival roles, in whichever order of Kates you wish to go first.
Well, I'll go first. So I'm Kate Hall and I've lived in Bath for 16 years. Before working for Bath festivals, I worked in television in production in light entertainment for the BBC and ITV. And I've now been leading production and producing the festivals for just over, and this makes me feel really old, 10 years.
Well, I think the expression is highly experienced and very storied. It's not the word old doesn't even figure. Not talking from my perspective, that's for sure. Let's Kate Abbey.
I feel I'm highly experienced as well then, Greg. I had a career in publishing and PR and also a bit of life coaching, but I got a bit stuck after having my family. I didn't quite know how and where to get back in and what to do in Bath. So I actually joined Bath Festivals, I think 7 years ago, as a volunteer. So I joined and looked after authors for my first festival and basically just got hooked and have been moving ever closer to the festival since then. So yeah, I think that was 7-8 years ago.
Well, at the risk of being a bit bookish, which after all is in part what we're talking about today, I love that sense of narrative arc of starting as a volunteer and ending up in this august position that you have, Kate. So lovely. Let's by the way, please do use that Q&A. We've had a couple of points here. Someone has asked, are you using any new venues for the festivals? We shall come back to that point because you're using multiple venues. We'll come on to that. So Kate Hall, tell us about perhaps a little bit about the history and context of our festivals, what it does. It's incredible history.
So this is our 75th year, so this will be quite a whistle-stop tour, but we started the festivals in 1948 and it's been all sorts of different festivals. So in 1969, when we were the Bath Blues Festival, this is when Michael Eavis came and saw Fleetwood Mac and Led Zeppelin, and it's where he first came up with the idea, or legend says, for Glastonbury. And then further down the line, we became the Bath International Music Festival. In 1995, we launched the Bath Literature Festival. And in 2010, we launched the Bath Children's Literature Festival, which happens every year in late September. And then in 2017, we brought the International Music Festival and the Literature Festival together to form the Bath Festival, which is what you see now every May.
Yeah. Brilliant, and that is the story, and you can see how the strands have come together. This is a major celebration of culture, and Bath itself is a city of culture. There's that image there of an Austen-esque performer, I guess, or maybe. But Bath itself is founded on its creativity, and for the festivals to be such an important part of the city, reflecting that history, using the topography of Bath, I think personally think it's absolutely magnificent. Now, clearly, you are whilst highly experienced. Yours is quite a small team, and you're working with many organisations through Bath to make the festivals happen. How does this sort of creative, organisational, financial melange actually come together?
Well, because there's 10 of us, so we are really small, and we work all year round to try and make this happen. So we work with loads of organisations in Bath. And this starts off with our venues. So we collaborate with some of our venues to do our events. So this year we're working closely with the Roman Bars, the Youth Snuff and Bar Forum on events with them. We also work with lots of businesses as well, and people go the extra mile to help us. So some organisation like Minuteman, who do loads of extra stuff for us, as well as doing all our posters and our brochures and branding that you see in the city. There are all the shops that do window displays for us, the hotels that go out of their way to look after our musicians and authors and make it a really special visit for them. This year we've got host families looking after our young rising stars. And then lastly, in terms of people, probably some of the most important people are our volunteers. So we have over 100 volunteers who help run our events and welcome all our audiences.
Nice. And Kate, what about perhaps on maybe the commercial side, the involvement of companies, patrons and so on?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much really that everybody can do to support us. We were looking at it, and over our 2 festivals and our creative learning projects, we put on close to 300 events in the city, you know, from small scale right up to large size. And we reckon we reach just under 130,000 people a year, trying to make books, music and performance accessible to them. But for example, ticket sales for the Bath Festival will only cover about 45% of the cost it takes us to produce and put on the festival. So this is a big shout out for organisations and individuals to come and help us, because we're not going to be able to do it in the future without that. Individual membership starts from as little as £25, and you can get priority bookings through to other benefits as your membership moves. And if there are any businesses out there that like anything creative, I think if you look at the programme, the kind of areas and genres and venues and people that we're reaching, I would challenge any business in Bath to not be positively impacted by getting involved with us. So please come and find us and talk to us for future festivals, or come and try us out this year and see what the fuss is all about. You know, we'd love to support and welcome anybody in to have a look if you haven't been in before.
Very good. And when you say come and find you, probably the easiest route is through the Bath Festival's website. And that's, you know, that's as of today, it's got the full roster of all activities, but from a commercial point of view, in terms of partnerships. Well, I guess we view along these lines that the success of Bath has absolutely helped enable the Bath Festivals, but equally the success of Bath Festivals really reflects so strongly on Bath and contributes to its success. So it's in all our interests for the festivals to continue to prosper, and you know, good luck with finding those partners, places, people, companies involved. So we're going to come on to this year and what this programme looks like. So what are the sort of, I don't know, key themes, highlights, etc.?
Okay, I've made some notes because there's a lot to get through, and everyone is going to be here well past you know, going home time. It's going to be busy and it's going to be buzzing. The festival is really a year in the making. So after we close this year's one, we'll have a week off and we will open up the programme for 2024. A theme emerged relatively early this year. So for 2023, the theme is going to be opening up. I think May and springtime is the perfect time for us all to be out and about, exploring the city and connecting with others. We've had a long and still lingering winter, and that can kind of keep us in and keep us, you know, kind of closed down, hibernating. But I like the fact that the festival can give space and time for writers and performers to open up about their experiences, for us to connect and kind of enjoy the celebration of books and music all together. The festival is going to run from 10 days, from the 12th to the 21st of May. We've got a vibrant music programme, which this year we've chosen to focus on the most exceptional young rising talent, and a book programme that showcases over 100 talks, workshops and walks covering debut, local, national and international voices. I'm really excited that this year we've worked really closely with a few guest curators. So James Waters, who actually is practically part of our family, he's our classical music programmer. But this year I've worked with 2 new curators on some special one-off programmes you're not going to get anywhere else other than Bath in May. Memoirist and award-winning author Cathy Rensenbrink, who's got an amazing strand of 5 or 6 events called How to Feel Better. And the doctor, author and campaigner, Dr. Rachel Clark, who has put together a strand called Hope in the Dark. There'll be all the details about all of their events through the brochure and online, and I'll probably be referring back to a few of the people later on that they're bringing to Bath.
Good stuff. Is it expensive to go to the festivals? What's the sort of typical cost? Are there any sort of new pricing approaches this year?
Yes.
Was that yes, there's new things, not yes, it's expensive?
Not yes, it's not expensive. Yes, there are new things.
Good.
And also, I was just thinking about it because actually, oh my goodness. Okay, I'm just shutting my phone. Apologies.
What is it? We really are live, and this is the proof of it.
Oh my goodness.
There you go, and we're live again.
I don't think that my home phone line has rung since pre-pandemic times.
Actually,
Okay,
I'm more shocked. I'm
there
more
is
shocked you've even
there
still
is-
got a home phone line. But
Well, I don't quite know how to get rid of it. So actually, if anybody wants to give me any advice on that as well, I'll put something in the comments. That would be
Unplug
amazing. Anyway, can I get back
go
to
on.
the flexible
You
pricing
go.
model? Because I was actually I really wanted to shout out our head of marketing, Jazz Barker, who came up with this idea and just thoroughly researched it. We know that it's been impossible to ignore the financial challenges that have been facing so many of us. And the festival team really did a lot of work looking at how could we try and make the events as accessible as possible to as many people in Bath and visitors to Bath over the festival period. So we've got a new model this year, and there are basically 4 different ticket prices across the events. So you can help to pay it forward, you can pay a standard price, you can pay an open concession, and you can pay a supported concession. So for example, for some of the literature events, that might look like £13 pay it forward, £10 standard, which is generally what we think it would cost us to put the event on, to sort of wash its face, an open concession at £8 and a supported concession at £5. You can book as many of these events as you want. There's no limit on how many you book. We want to see everybody out and about, enjoying and exploring both maybe some things that they know they're going to love and maybe taking a punt on some new events or some new ideas.
Very good. I mean, and that whole thing about flexibility, in part, it's to encourage, and exactly as you say, that sense of experiencing and discovery, some things you're not even quite so sure about. It is a sum of money, but it's not the biggest sum, and it does mean that some can participate. And your phrase, pay it forward, is that essentially buy on behalf of others? Is that what it means?
It is. It's an acknowledgement that you may be in the position to feel fortunate enough to pay the standard price and a little bit more that will allow us to open up the festival to let others come in.
Yeah. And that's been a growing trend and a sort of a very thoughtful civic trend, and it's great that festivals is embracing that principle. So that's the some of the structure, some indications of the artists and so on. It all kicks off on what, May 12th with the party in the city. Dare I ask what that might be like this year?
Yes, so we kick off on the Friday, as you said, and it's one of my favourite nights. It's for everyone and it's free. And this year, it's been put together by Stu Matson from Bath Carnival. So he's been working with us and matching the people who have applied into the right venues. And we're in about 40 venues this year, and you can basically wander around the city and see everything from pop music, rock music, classical, brass, folk, jazz, dance, world, choral, big bands, choirs, basically any kind of type of music that takes your fancy. And then Bath Abbey is one of our venues that we run. So they will open their west doors, but we also have pubs and clubs, churches, restaurants. Everybody in the city is welcome to be involved, and it's very busy in some places. It's quieter. You can walk into a church and listen very quietly to music. So there is something for everybody. And we run 2 big outdoor venues, Parade Gardens. We have a full programme of music on the bandstand with food and drink stalls. And then this year we have a really special collaboration in Queen Square with a fantastic music workshop. And they've sent us a little clip explaining what they're going to do on the stage.
Let's have a look at that.
We're Music Workshop, and we're bringing Moodfest to the Bath Festival's Party in the City, Queen Square.
But over 50 talented musicians of all ages to create 3 hours of musical magnificence that is sure to blow your mind. From soulful ballads to electrifying rock anthems, our musicians will take you on a journey through the rich and diverse world of music. You'll witness the power of music of bringing people together to inspire, uplift, and transcend boundaries of age, race, and culture. So mark your calendars for the 12th of May and join us for an unforgettable evening of music and celebration. Bring your friends, family and loved ones and let the music move you. With Music Workshop, Moodfest and Bath Festivals, you'll experience the joy, passion and beauty of music like never before. Join us from Queen Square
on the 12th of May, 6 p.m. till 9 p.m. for an evening of musical magnificence you won't forget in a hurry. We'll see you there.
That's lovely. There's a fantastic creative paradox about music, public music and events, is that it's communal, you experience it together, but you can absolutely lose yourself in it. And, it will be a magical night. And it seems to me, either Kate, that this is a yet more ambitious party in the city. It seems to be bigger scale, more embracing, more activity, just stuff happening.
Yeah, I think this year as well, we wanted to just make sure that we are involving as many different people as possible. So the music workshop collaboration came up because we wanted to give them a really big part of it to make a big splash.
I just want to go back to the pricing. We've had a question from Alison Curran, and apologies to Alison and to others. I think maybe a little bit of event jargon. So she asks, what are open concessions and supported concessions? Could you just walk us through what they mean, please?
I can, yes. In fact, I'm going to refer to my brochure so that I get this completely correct, because I don't want to get it wrong. So bear with me 1 second. All
right, it's coming. I'm sure these are different levels that people of different groups or whatever
it's
can buy.
Basically that the open concession is lower than a recommended price and is aimed at those who could use the support of a reduced ticket price to attend. And the supported is the lowest ticket option, aimed at those who need the support of the reduced ticket price to attend. So they're basically both below a standard ticket price, but one is slightly higher, one is slightly lower.
And if I could press you on the detail on behalf of Alison and others, could you just give an example? If a sort of an open price is, I don't know, 12 quid, what might a concession be very roughly? What type of money?
So for example, if a standard price is £10 for an event, a pay it forward would be 13, the open concession would be 8, and the supported would be 5. Right.
And therefore to Alison and to others, full details on the site. I'm looking over here as though you're here and you're not, it's just a note. The full details are on the site, and of course all details are in the brochure. But essentially it is a means by which more people can come who may not have the capacity financially to attend.
I was going to say there's a little bit underneath each one as well that says, is this for me, with much more, with the detail in it to actually make you feel very comfortable about which one you pick.
Good. Okay, talking of paying forward, we're going to go zoom forward in time to May the 12th. We've partied hard on that Friday night. What happens next, other than perhaps a hangover?
So our main programme runs from Saturday the 13th to Sunday the 21st. And we're really excited about being slap bang in the middle of the city this year at the Guildhall. So we'll be running 2 rooms of events, and the Guildhall will be our festival hub. So you don't need a ticket to come in and just soak up the atmosphere. And as well as being jam-packed full of events, there'll be a festival cafe and bar. The green room is there, and Bath Box Office will be there every day selling tickets for all of the events in the festival. And it will also be the home to our festival bookshop, which is run by the amazing team at Mr. B's, who are not just our bookshop, they are literally everything to us, and we couldn't do the festival without them. And here is Mr. B himself, Nick.
Hey, my name's Nick Bottomley, also known as Mr. B, owner of Mr. B's Emporium of Reading Delights here in Bath. And I can't believe it's nearly festival time again. We absolutely love working with Bath festivals, and once again it's time for the Bath Literature Festival. It's going to be our 8th or 9th, I think, and we've done children's literature festivals with them as well. And we just always enjoy working with the gang there. And it looks like an incredible lineup. I don't know how Kate does it, but once again, she and her team have pulled out some amazing looking events. Can't wait to see Tan Twaneng back in the UK and back in Bath. We just still adore his novel, Garden of Evening Mist, so it's going to be great to see him. Great to have Tim Marshall in town. Amazing always to listen to what Margaret Heffernan's got to say, so that's another highlight for me. And at Mr. B's, we're hosting a couple of events. We've got me chatting with Kathy Renson-Brink. That's going to be great fun. And we've got Alice Robb interviewed by my colleague Lottie, and that's going to be another highlight for us. Plus, apparently, Natalie Haynes is putting on her swimmers down at the Royal Baths, and that's just going to be amazing. Royal Baths, the Roman Baths. So listen, can't wait to meet up with everyone at all these events. We're not only going to be selling books at every event, but we're also going to be running a pop-up shop down at the Guildhall throughout the festival, and yeah, bring it on.
Mr. Bees has been such a stalwart of the Bath independent scene, but specifically the book scene for a number of years, and it's superb. And when he says bring it on, I'm sure that will chime with many people indeed. And in case the detail was slightly missed towards the end, of course, the main and massive and wonderful Mr. B's Emporium will be open, but there's also that pop-up shop at the Guildhall for the duration of the festival as well. So great. Talking of the Guildhall, what is, I can see an image below. Is this some of the stuff that's going to be happening at the Guildhall? Tell us what's happening.
This is making me very happy looking at all of these faces. Yeah, there's just a lot going to be going on there over those 10 days. So you can start the day in some company of some outstanding classical rising stars with a coffee concert. Canadian Spanish guitarist Tim Beattie, BBC Young Musician of the Year viola finalist, 17-year-old Karen Ziegler, and Scottish musicians Ryan Corbett and Emma Baird. I've made myself a few notes, apologies, for what I'm really looking forward to, because otherwise I'll start talking you through all of them. But we've got a really amazing strand this year called Sharing Stories. So fantastic people talking about their lives. Taskmaster comedian Fern Brady, Channel 4 presenter Jon Snow, Turner Prize winning artist Jeremy Deller, broadcaster Jeremy Bowen, Great British Sewing Bees Esme Young, actor Patterson Joseph. We've got loads and loads of topics that we'll be kind of exploring under the festival microscope. Shakespeare in the 21st century, pop culture icons, the Beatles and James Bond, what's next for our royal family, how to get better sleep, 20th century British artists, the space race, 21st century diplomacy, rewilding, how to do good better, and our evolving brain. And something that I'm particularly excited about for the festival are our fantastic fiction pairings. So we have Ayobami Adebayo and Diana Evans, Costa winners Claire Fuller and Lucy Atkins, crime writers Janice Hallett and Kate Hamer, a spy panel with James Naughty, Kim Sherwood and Charlotte Philby. And it's been a real pleasure this year to work with the fantastic Sarah Shaffi, who's come on board as a guest literature programmer. And she sent us a short message just talking about the books that she's been working on.
Hello everyone, I'm Sarah Shaffi, a journalist, an author and an event chair, and I'm also a guest programmer at this year's Bath Literature Festival. I'm a huge lover of fiction, and so I'm really looking forward to bringing you some events with some of the best storytellers around, new and established. We'll have a discussion between Caleb Azuma Nelson and Rowan Hiseo Buchanan about their new books, a celebration of the Jalak Prize with former winner Guy Gunaratne and one of this year's yet to be announced shortlists. Plus we'll be talking to Natasha Solomons and Isabel Schuler about their reimaginings of two of Shakespeare's famous yet forgotten women. Plus, we'll be marking the paperback release of Bolu Babalola's Loving Colour with an evening of discussion and music with Bolu and debut author Liv Little. I hope that you'll join us for these festival events and a whole lot more. See you there.
Indeed. And I'm aware that, as our anonymous attendee asked earlier, that, you're using some new venues this time around. So across the city, where are you going?
So, yeah, we're all over the city. We're starting off in St Michael's on Saturday the 13th with a free open rehearsal with Bath Festival Orchestra. So this is the church next to Waitrose. So you can do your shopping and then pop in and listen and meet the young players. And in the evening, they'll be in Bath Abbey playing Mozart's Requiem with Bath Camerata. And the concert is hosted by BBC Radio 3 presenter Sarah Moore-Peach. And then on Thursday the 18th, we're in Bath Forum for Concert for the People of Bath. And this is with Bath Philharmonia with young violinist Esther Yu. This is also where you can see our Schools Voices project. This is a project between 12 Bath secondary schools. And they're going to perform 2 of the 4 songs that they've especially written for the performance. If you want to see all 4, you can see them in Bath Abbey on the Party in the City And then on Friday the 19th, we are in the iconic Roman Baths with rock star mythologist Natalie Haynes. She will be talking about Medusa and her book Stone Blind. And then we also have some beautiful choral music in St Mary's, Bathwick. And in St Swithin's, we have trumpeter Aaron Akubo, who is returning after performing in Bath Abbey last year with his quintet Connaught Brass. And here is Aaron on a train to say hello.
Hi, my name's Aaron Akubo and I'm currently on a train down to London, but I'm very excited to be coming back to the Bath Festival this year. Having been there last year with organist John Kitchen, I'm back this year with my brass quintet, Connaught Brass, and we're giving a nice mixed programme of some popular classics such as arrangements of Forest Bavan and Handel's Water Music, and pairing it with the quintet standards of the repertoire. A lot of music this time from the Russian romantic composer Viktor Ewald in his quintets number 1 and 4. So hopefully you can come along and enjoy a brassy evening.
A brassy evening with a brass quintet in one, sort of illustrating the sort of musical diversity that there is at the festivals this time around. Now, R2 Kate, you've been put on the spot by a great supporter of arts and culture in Bath, which is John Cullum, who is asking you, here, this is it, I'm going to bring him in sort of verbally, as it were. John says, please give me, I'm trying to give you a bit of time to think about this, please give me 2 recommendations for events you don't think I would obviously choose. Do you want to dive straight in, or do you want to think about that?
I think John should go to our event Party Like It's 1799 at the Royal Crescent, which is a #1 Royal Crescent, which is a new venture for us. They're putting on a special Georgian party evening for us. And even better, you can do that first and then rock on down to the Roman Baths to see Natalie Haynes.
Okay, I've got to ask you, what does a Georgian party look like? Is that, I mean, how far are you going? Is it Georgian food and drink as well as music and literature? Okay.
Oh, all of that good stuff, and costumes very welcome too. So
right,
I personally like to see John Cullum at that.
We would all like to see John there. And is that sort of the equivalent of Georgian social media, or some bloke with a sort of whatever? Kate H, what's your recommendation for John?
I think he should go to the American Museum and he should learn how to write a memoir with Cathy Rensenbrink, who's doing a workshop there on writing a memoir, Where Do I Start? And I think it would be really good.
Well, there you are, John. I hope that's sufficiently specific for you. It struck me as very specific. And if you are there, well, I don't know, I'm sure you'll say hello to the full team, and I look forward to seeing it, at least one of the events, as with many other people as well. We've got, we're about to talk about some other venues, but we just had a question from Sarah Moon. How can we get involved as a venue? Is there still the opportunity for 23? Would we now need to be looking at 24? Do you have any gaps in your roster at all?
Gosh, I wish we did, but I can feel the team bristling if I was to say yes. We don't. We're fully booked for May 2023, but we are, both Kate and I already got many plans afoot for 2024. So the best thing to do probably is to get in touch with either one of us or both. And yeah, we can meet and talk more about it.
Would Kate A, maybe, would you like to give your email out if you're okay to do that? And
I am. It's kate.abbey, ABBEY, at bathfestivals.org.uk.
You really are Bath Abbey, aren't you? I've just
all the way through.
realised that's terrible. Right, we were talking about venues, talk about some other venues you've got. Where you've got so much to get through, and we're coming towards the end, and so just pick up the pace on the detail.
On a rattle then. I'm just really proud of the amount of collaboration and venue that we've got this year. We've matched venues and authors and musicians and potential audiences together. So you can come and do creative writing workshops all week at Bath Library. You can hang out at our favourite bookshops, Mr. B's and Persephone's, for talks and workshops. We've got 5 walks to suit all tastes: a Right Royal City, Bath on Screen, Reading Bath, Bath Blitz, and Beckford and Bath. I want to give a big shout out to Fred Moore, Bath Walking Tours and Bath Preservation Trust. We've got a one-off special collaboration with the Euston Off, who will be putting on a one-woman play, A Room of One's Own, a 21st century take on Virginia Woolf's celebrated pre-TED Talk. We're doing our first ever poetry open mic with local poet Carrietta at Chapter 22 Roots and Records. So first time using their venue, and then you can pop over the road to Dorothy House Bookshop, where there are some free evening events. You can have a cream tea with Miss Marple and go to a proof party at the Francis Hotel. We're in Walcott House both Saturdays, and we've got a couple of really special, specially commissioned evening events at Comedia, including one with local award-winning author Max Porter, who sent a little message.
The Shy event at the Bath Festivals at Comedia on May the 18th will contain a dramatic reading of the book done exclusively for the festival with a real teenage boy and a real backpack full of rocks. It will be live electronic score by one half of iconic dubstep duo Vexed. It will have a Q&A with Vanessa Kasule, former Poet Laureate of Bristol, one of the most exciting writers working in the country at the moment. It will have a Back to 95 drum and bass and jungle set by local DJ Nico. It will have exclusive limited edition merch made by Faber and independent creatives. It will have books by Mr. B's. It's a lot of bang for your buck.
That is just remarkable. You can feel the energy come off the screen there. And Max Porter, there are a number of extraordinary, I'm going to take myself off the screen, I'm glitching. I'll still talk.
It's just too much for you, Greg.
It's too much, I'm just overwhelmed. There are a number of remarkable authors locally. I would additionally recommend Max. We featured him in Bath Live, and his novel, Grief is a Thing with Feathers, was just one of the most remarkable things I personally have read. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Before we come to the next part, John Cullum has said, wait, first of all, great recommendations, you know, happy days for that, but I will shop for some Georgian gear to wear. So we have to have picks, or it didn't happen, John. You know, we look forward to that greatly. Different question from Sherry-Ann Baxter, a brilliant local business, regional business called Univigil, actually one of our finalists this time around at the Bath Life Awards. She asks, how do we find out about LGBT authors to go and see? Do you want to perhaps either the principal, maybe highlight a couple of specifics?
I can definitely recommend a brilliant night out, which is our other specially commissioned night at Comedia, on the Wednesday evening, and that is the Polari Salon. So that is an award-winning literary salon run by Paul Burston, and he brings together incredible performers for a kind of cabaret special style night out. So this year he'll be talking about his brand new memoir. We'll be hearing from Joelle Taylor, who's a T.S. Eliot award-winning poet, and then Miss Hope Springs, who's a sort of faded beauty on the piano. It'll be a special drag queen act for the second half. And actually preceding that will be a free evening of poetry brought to us by Bristol's Lyra Festival in the Electric Bar at Comedia. So you can come and see that first for free, stay and have a beer, and then go in and enjoy the Polari Salon event for the evening. So Sherry-Ann, I will see you there, please.
Very good. And Polari, was that the sort of patois that was developed as a sort of code in the late 50s, early 60s? Or
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Really interesting. And I would say about Sherry-Ann and others have been so adept at promoting LGBT through the city, both I'd cite specifically Univigil and clearly PR in that respect, but others as well. So please, please do join in if you wish. Right. So there is such a panoply, such a cornucopia, such a superfluity of stuff happening. How on earth, one, do you communicate it? And you've gone through a lot today. How do we sort of navigate your way through the program with 130 events? There's an awful lot happening.
Yeah, we've tried to work out different ways to suit different people. So obviously we have a very beautiful brochure, which will be being sent out to all kinds of people. If you subscribe to our newsletter and things, you can get that sent out to you. And it'll also be in lots of different cafes and shops and hairdressers and places all around Bath. Some people really like to just sit with a cup of tea and a pen and work their way through these. If that isn't for you, you can go onto our website with where all the events are listed. And our marketing team have been working around the clock to try and break up the programme into different collections. So whether you think you might like Mind and Body, or Sharing Stories, or Debut Stars, or The Great Outdoors, those collections will help you kind of find your way through the festival. There are recommended events listed next to each one as well. There's also a quiz that you can take to try and work out the right event for you to go and see. We've got our amazing Bath box office, who we share an office with. Jenna and Beverly and the team are on hand to take your calls, and they'll also be able to advise on all the events. So yeah, we've tried to make it as easy and as manageable for as many people as possible. Also, if you see any of us wandering around the street, come up and ask. We're very happy to recommend events at all times.
Streets? I mean, what? We look forward to that. And Kate, there's some other elements as well. The green room, I think, is quite important. And
yes, we've got the green room this year, which will be really good fun, and there'll be a box office also at the Guildhall, so you can come and pop in whilst the festival is on and have a look at what tickets are still available.
And the other great thing, I mean, this is all about bringing people together and experiencing great culture, stimulation. It's like a massive mind spa. It's wonderful. One other way to do it, of course, is anybody who's booking a ticket to simply tag Bath Festivals on social media saying, I'm going to blah, blah, blah talk or music. And it just helps spread the word, because if you like it, others will like it as well. And we will likewise, as we seek to do elsewhere with Bath Life, we will act as an echo chamber of the good stuff, both in the magazine, each issue, but of course on social media and at our events as well. So one other point, a few questions popping in now. So Luke John Emmett, a great theatrical and artistic man in his own right. He says the talk on Beckford and slavery is massively important, and he's very pleased to see it included. So good stuff for that. Great. Will it be expanded or run more times in the future so more people can learn from it?
I really hope so, yeah. Amy Frost from Bath Preservation Trust will be running the walk this year for us, and I definitely think it's something we'd like to explore more. There's also an amazing event with the actor Patterson Joseph, who is giving a talk about his book, The Extraordinary Diary of Charles Ignatius Sancho, who was the first Black British Georgian to cast a vote. Patterson, I think, became obsessed after reading about his life and ended up writing a one-man theatre play, and has also developed it into a fictionalized book. So he'll be coming to Bath to explore that too. So yeah, it's a strand that we really want to carry on exploring.
And my own take on this, but slightly more generally, is of course festivals aren't an end point. They're often a starting point. They're ways of encouraging knowledge, connections, relationships, piquing interest. Including areas which perhaps have simply just not been covered sufficiently, such as is said here about the Beckford and slavery piece this time around. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think there's one last major thing to do, which is to say, you have whetted the appetite extraordinarily well. So when can people get tickets?
Oh, so we go on sale a week, I think it's Friday the 17th, so next week. But you don't have to wait till then, because if you want to, for just £25, you can join and become a member. And that means you get priority booking and beat the queues, because some of our events this year are quite small capacities and they will sell out quite quickly. So I thoroughly encourage you to do that.
It's both a good thing to do, but pragmatically it's a sensible thing to do, because yes, a ton of these events in previous times, or broad equivalent, have sold out. And this is one of the wonders of events. They are ultimately evanescent. They exist for that hour or whatever. When they've gone, they've gone. And if you've missed it, you've missed it. So if there's something which has piqued your interest, for the sake of becoming a sort of patron supporter, 25 quid, whatever, it guarantees that you'll get your tickets if you wish. So I think we're done. I would like, of course, to thank, hang on, if we may have one more question. You never know. Here's a good one. I like this one. Interested to know. From Janet Crompton. Can volunteers get priority booking?
Yes, if they become a member. However, if you are working as a volunteer, there's a rota, so you can pick which event you would like to work on. And generally, we do our best to accommodate everybody. So it's a really good way of seeing events as well as helping us put them on.
So, I'm going to prompt you on this one. So, the more someone might volunteer, the greater the chance of getting freebies, or at least getting to be at an event, so they get to experience it anywhere, of course, whilst of course
absolutely.
volunteering.
Yeah, we know our very sort of dedicated volunteers, and we look after them.
Roughly speaking, how many volunteers do you have? Order of magnitude.
Well, because we do have volunteers for the Children's Literature Festival as well. I think it's about 120 across both festivals. Some people do both. Some people just do one of the festivals, depending on where their interests are.
Right. Also from Heather Foote on a similar volunteering point, can you remind us how to log on for volunteering? Presumably details are on the site, but what do you look for in a volunteer? What might they be doing for you?
So all sorts of roles, really. All the information to sign up to be a volunteer is on our website. But mainly they look after our audiences. So they are working with our amazing event managers as a front of house roles. So they will be seating people, checking tickets, and then after everybody's settled, watch the event and then help with our book signings afterwards, or looking after people at music events. So it's a looking after role.
It's a sort of concierge looking after role. It's not onerous, but it is absolutely vital. And I know from what you said before, extremely appreciated that people
really appreciated. We couldn't do it without them. We literally couldn't do it without them.
Well, and you have gone through a number of people you couldn't do it without, including
we're very needy.
No, it's a coalition, including, of course, the authors and the venues and sponsors and everyone else. One last, I think we've had a note from Sarah Baker. Very strong on social media and comms. She says, looking forward to contributing again, and that'll be superb. Well done, the Kates. Well done, the Kates, indeed. Thank you to our Bath Life Presents speakers today, Kate Abbey and Kate Hall, and to Bath Festivals. Kate, and that's either or both Kates, final words?
I just wanted to say a really huge thank you to the core team that we work with day in, day out. Honestly, we put our hearts and souls into all of this. We are very, very small team and very, very mighty. We're also finalists at the Bath Life Awards this year in 2 categories, arts and creative and civic. So I'm really looking forward to seeing old friends and new friends there. And I also just wanted to shout out, we didn't want to get through the whole of spring without a couple of events. So I have persuaded Elizabeth Day, hugely successful podcaster and author, to come to talk with chef and TV presenter Andy Oliver about Elizabeth's new book, Friendaholic, which publishes on the 30th of March. We've got her in Comedia for the 31st of March for a special event. Mr. B's are coming along to sell books. There are a few tickets left. Please come along to that as well and come and say hi. And otherwise, thanks, Greg, and thanks to all the Bath Life team. And we will see everyone in May.
Well, thank you for that, and also for the plug for the Bath Life Awards. We're thrilled to be involved, and just as you say, you've got this sort of pre-event, March 30th. Do look out for that. I'm sure it's on the website. And who knows, there may be some post events or other activities happening later in the year. And for those venues, I'm going to bounce you into this, so sorry about this. And for those venues who haven't this time been involved, there may be opportunities either later this year or into 24, of course. Thank you for all. This has run nearly 50 minutes. There's been so much to get through. So thank you all for your time today and your questions, several of them, and some really good points at this webinar with Bath Festivals. As I mentioned, it'll be on our YouTube channel shortly. Please do explore that festivals program. It's up. Links to it will be up on our social channels with Bath Life, as well as, of course, on the festivals site. Frankly, it's a sort of voyage of discovery. It's a great enjoyment in its own right. You turn the page, think, well, I was about to say something rather rude, but you think, oh gosh, isn't that interesting? There is so much on, and trying to figure out which events you might wish to attend, alerting friends that, do you fancy this on this night, and so on. It's a brilliant means of bringing people together, and we really, really look forward to seeing you there. More generally, thank you for your support, your continuing support for Bath Life. This has been a Media Clash production, and this has been a very special Bath Life Presents with Bath Festivals. Thank you. Bath together, always. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Meg Robertson. I am the Equalities Officer at Bath Spa University, and Bath Spa University is a partner of Bath Festivals. I am really looking forward to Bath Festivals 2023, especially the Polari event at Comedia. Bath Festivals always creates a safe, enjoyable, exciting space that is available for everybody to come along to, and I cannot wait for the festival this year again. It's always got a big place in my heart.
That's lovely. We're done. We will see you in May, if not before. Thank you very much indeed. Bye-bye.